This is Wretched Radio with Todd Friel.
Well, thank you very much. You preborn supporter people, you. That's right, you preborn supporter people, you. This is Wretched Radio. Many wretches have been supporting preborn.org. Why? Because it provides free ultrasounds. It does a lot more than that, by the way. We talk about the ultrasounds a lot. It does a lot more than that. It takes care of the women while they're going through their pregnancies. It takes care of women afterwards because, you know, we heartless Christians, how we are that way. Provides diapers and the Similac or the Enfamil or whatever your favorite product happens to be, which is about, I think it's up to, it's either slightly more or less expensive than an ounce of gold. The ounce of the Similac. Wow, that stuff is expensive. Who knew? And it takes a lot of money. And so Preborn, they help women with those issues too. But it's ultimately the ultrasound that tends to save the baby's life 80% of the time. So thank you if you've been supporting Preborn. And if you have not, would like to encourage you to support Preborn. $28 buys an ultrasound. 80% of the time, the mommy keeps the baby. That's a good buy. Those are good odds. That's a great statistic to encourage you to, if you can, support 1 to 10 ultrasounds a month. Preborn.org. Preborn.org. Hold on. What was that thing that I saw with the dealy, Bob? I know. Let me see if I can. Joey, would you try to find, otherwise I can find this. We were having a dinner the other night. So we're sitting around the table. And we were talking about abortion, that I think the number is 52 or 55 million babies have been aborted since 1973. And there was a video that we used in Life is Best. If you recall, the Life is Best 13-episode series, outstanding, to teach you to defend life. And we opened it up with a video. And we played that video at the table, which I got to tell you something, maybe not the best dinner conversation, but we were having a very nice dinner. And we played this video just using a cell phone. It just stopped traffic. The whole place just got silent. This is from Life is Best. The sound of abortion in America, not the entire globe. America.
Right where you are, I just want you to, right there in your seats, just shut your eyes. What you're about to hear are the sounds of metal BBs striking the side of a tin can. For every BB that strikes, it represents 10,000 lives lost in the wars of America's past. 10,000 lives for every BB. This is the reality of what is occurring in your country. The American Revolution, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Korean conflict, the conflict in Vietnam, September 11th and the War on Terror. Since 1973, the War on the Unborn Child. God help us.
Perspective. Not perhaps the greatest dinner video. Perspective. ERLC.com, why a personally opposed but position on abortion is extremist and just really dumb. It's just really dumb. You know, Tony, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but I'm personally opposed to slavery, but I really don't want to impose my values on other people. So that's where I just stand. It's same thing with rape. Oh, I am so opposed to those things, but it's not my body. So I'll just keep my laws off of your body or something like that. ERLC.com. My position is that I'm personally opposed to abortion, but I don't think I have a right to impose my view on the rest of society. All righty. Number one, reframe the objection that to oppose abortion is to impose my view on the rest of society. That's a good place to start. We do not need to concede the use of impose because the government does that all the time. That, by the way, is why we have police. That's why we have courts. That's why we have judges. That's why we have a legislature to make the laws. That's why we have a Supreme Court to, well, some days are better than others, interpret those laws and help us to apply those laws rightly, not make them. Maybe if you're younger, you're a little confused about that because it sure seems like that's what they're doing these days. They don't. They're simply supposed to say, this is the ruling on the law. Seems these days that's gone wonky. So don't let people say, well, it's imposing our values on society. And by the way, they're more than happy to impose their values on things like guns or abortion. They're willing to foist that on our society. Don't cede the issue. Legal scholar Marianne Glendon. When people advance their moral viewpoints in the public square, they're not imposing anything on anyone. They're proposing. That's what citizens do in a democracy. We propose. We give reasons, and then we vote. If we would propose a ban on abortion and not other things on which we personally oppose, there's got to be a compelling reason. Okay, so if we're going to propose a ban on abortion and not on other things, there's got to be a compelling reason. And the reason is, well, justice. It's murder. There are other issues that we don't impose. Now, I know that there are some evangelicals, and I'm not trying to throw a rock at you, that would say, well, we really should have blasphemy laws. We really should have some morality laws. We should have divorce law, that it's a crime. I understand that. But there's got to be a reason that we're willing to say to our society, abortion is wrong. We may believe drinking alcohol is immoral, but not consider it unjust. In contrast, an abortion is an action that always leads to injustice. So we should ask the personally opposed whether they believe it is unjust to take the life of an innocent human being, which brings us back to always the question, we talk about this in Life is Best, to the point where when you're done with 13 episodes, you have to get it. The issue is, what is it that we're talking about here? Nobody, I hope, in their right mind would say you can't. Well, increasingly these days, I guess they are saying that with end-of-life issues. But to take the life of an innocent human being, what is it? What's in there? What's in the mother's womb? It's a human being. That's why that is always the question. And by the way, don't forget, if those people say, well, it's not yet. Oh, did I ever share this with you? Did you ever hear this? Hold on, I've got this for you. Joey, where's that young man who basically said it's okay to abort a child up to 2, or to kill a child up to the age of 2? Never mind. Listen to this. Did we ever share this? Listen to this. This is entirely horrifying. This is on a college campus.
And I gave you the example of the last student we talked to who said it was okay up until 2. And
2 years old.
I'll buy that.
You think that's
the
reasonable up
fact of the
until
matter
2?
is, if without communication, we have no way of knowing if you're sentient or not. I mean, it's no different than this tree. It's alive, but is it sentient? I don't know. I cannot communicate to it.
I mean, to compare with a 2-year-old is kind of tough. I mean, just being the tree 2-year-old analogy.
Can the 2-year-old talk to me? Can the 2-year-old talk to me? In some instances, I'm fairly certain that is. But generally speaking, the child still have the inability to communicate.
Therefore, you can kill it. Wow, sir, there are people right now, as we speak, in a dentist office who are knocked out and can't communicate. Let's kill them. Furthermore, I'm sorry, I reject that. A 2-second-old can communicate.
Awake, though.
Tony, Joey, you both got experience in this realm with kids. How did you know your children, your little babies, less than 2 years old, needed something? Were they able to
communicated?
They communicated just fine. The issue is, what is it? And so the whole personally opposed is to be, but routine should be thrown out, because what we are defining and what we are describing with the act of abortion is an unjust act of intentionally taking the life of an innocent human being. I think that clip, by the way, I'm not sure. I think that guy was from Harvard. That's what they're teaching them there until tomorrow. Go serve your king. Shout out to our gospel partners. It is your ongoing monthly support that allows us to do Wretched Radio every single day and provide the broadcast, the entire program, for free to anybody on iTunes, Android, or at our website. Thank you for being a gospel partner. If you enjoy or benefit from Wretched Radio, would you please consider joining those partners so that we can continue to preach the gospel? Simply visit wretched.org.